work.
How's
I
it
want to focus
going?
on
Not quite
being
live.
motivated and getting
Not quite
ahead in a
live.
country that
And we are here.
made
Good.
for that ethic.
Just making sure.
This country
I'm
was
going to.
put here for that attitude. And the way you want to flourish in this country, get up, go to work, get educated, get your kids educated, stay together, focus on the family. There you go.
Okay, so again, he's saying that there's America is an to a large degree, of course, it still is, with the remnants of the free market still in semi-operation. So let's see how she is able to not apply pejoratives, because he's saying, look, liberals are people on the left that just simply throw pejoratives at conservatives. So let's see how she actually avoids doing that and not fulfilling his prophecy. Go, Anna.
So this is a standard argument that you usually hear from conservatives, right? Like, kick yourself.
Hello, everybody.
Bootstraps,
I can actually hear you now. Can you hear me?
Did
That's
you hear
good.
that? Did Adam and
We're live.
I and Anna just listen
I just wanted to make sure that.
to Adam
Thank you.
talking about, did he ever say it's super easy? Did he ever use the phrase just pick yourself up
You know,
by your
we're
own
out.
bootstraps?
I shouldn't
He,
say we're out.
in
We're
fact,
on.
did not.
All right, I'm
So
going to
she
turn
is
off this
constructing
back
an
feed.
elaborate straw man, which she actually fails to slay, which
What
is
the
pretty
fuck?
embarrassing when you're conducting a straw man. But
Welcome.
let's continue.
Hello, Don.
Anna,
Hey, everybody.
enlighten us.
I'm just
Hey, Chris.
a supporter of hard work.
Hey, Don.
These dirty
And we are
liberals
live.
don't
Thank you.
believe in hard work.
I know
They
that.
just want to sit around and collect government cheese and just chill. But obviously that's not the
Apologizing
case, right?
in advance for my
It's
somewhat lack
right.
of common sense this morning.
Let's smell
Morning.
the odor of thoughts slowly dying on the vine. Oh, it smells
Good evening, Christopher.
like really old chicken. So,
Good evening to you, too.
first of all, so now
So-
all people who collect welfare are liberals. That's not an argument that he made. Because she's
No.
saying we should
I have
encourage
my,
hard work and families staying together.
My
and
YouTube
so
screen
and getting
open,
an
my
education.
regular screen, so I could see you
Fine.
guys
And
talking
now
to me.
she's
If you
saying, well, he's saying,
you have any
no
questions,
liberals believe in that? Well, he's talking
anyway,
about people who aren't
this
working,
is not
and
a
not all people who aren't working are
typical
liberals, so that's
show.
important.
This is going to be
But
just
what
kind
I
of
find
an off-the-cuff
particularly
type of
delightful is when she says,
talking,
well, obviously
me
that's not
telling
true,
you,
right?
things that are going on.
What a wonderful airstrike of intellectual
I do
incompetence
want
you bring
to
to
touch
bear
base
on
on
your
a few
opponent.
things, but
Well, obviously his brain thorns are like grody to the back, so
as soon as I get some,
how can you possibly imagine
things
that that's
going
any
here,
kind of rebuttal? Well, obviously,
we'll put some,
that's not the case, right?
we'll put some
Well,
pep in our step here,
How is that
So,
possibly a rebuttal of anything? I mean, why bother
apparently
if
I
she
have
has
a lot of
political
followers
science
on
degree?
my
Why
Google
bother
account
going
that
to
watch
that?
the show,
To
but
say, well, obviously that's not correct,
it's new to
right?
me.
So, let's continue.
So I
I've
want to
been doing
explain
live
to him,
streaming
first of
lately on
all,
my phone.
why it is that certain individuals think that
Not a big-
conservatism is a dirty
Not a
word.
big fan of it because it takes
See,
too
now
much time,
let's
it
talk
takes
about
too much
what people
space,
think,
or
rather than
battery
making
power.
facts. Fact
And I can
one,
only really do that if I have somewhere where I got Wi-Fi, because I'm not going to broadcast
poor in America,
and
where there's
waste
two
Wi-Fi on my phone,
adults in a household.
or
The
data,
two
rather.
adults work an average of 15 hours a week.
Thank you.
Let's say that again, shall we? So,
So-
people who are poor in America, poor
You know,
people
I'm gonna
where
grab a
there are
drink
two
of
parents or two
Pepsi
adults in
here
a
and
household, the two adults
get back
work
to moving.
15 hours a week.
But
Even.
I'm not going to play any music. Just want to make sure you guys are
per week.
well aware that I'm going to be.
So he's not talking super hard work. You know, maybe 2 or 3 days of work a week might not be.
All right, what should we talk about?
So he's not talking about, well, let's send him down the coal mines for 16 hours a day.
You
Well,
want to
if
talk
you
about
choose to
something
only
cool?
work
Let's talk
1
about
day a
something
week
cool.
And you're not some champagne socialist.
Hold on, I'm going to grab a
Rastafarian,
Coke. Or
you're going to be
Pepsi.
kind of broke, right? I mean, so he's saying a little more work will not kill anyone and will actually be better for the kids. Now, rather than refute any of that or study any of the facts or learn any of the information, well, she's just going to say, well, here's why I think people don't like conservatives. Oh, imagine that at a physics conference. Someone puts forward an argument, and you're going to say, well, here's why I think people have emotional problems with that argument.
Cheers.
You do not understand the scientific method, rational thought, evidence.
Cheers to all.
But
I'm going
let's
to play
hear
something fat. We're going to do some talking here. We're going to do some
because, boy, that's a lot easier than rebutting.
mind fucking. No, just kidding. No mind fucking.
And by
That's
the way,
bad.
I should note that Adam Carolla lives in a very liberal
so,
bubble here in Los
this
Angeles.
evening,
So I'm guessing that he's
you
had
know,
a few
I
conversations
came on
with
the
a few
air
individuals who are
originally
like,
like I was
oh,
supposed
dude,
to
you're
do last night,
conservative.
but I kind of
But
had
if
some
you go
people
to
over.
other places in the
Didn't have a
country,
lot of
it's
time,
not
plus
a
my
dirty
feed
word.
was
In
kind of,
fact,
my
Jake did a
microphone
great
audio was
report
kind of
on
screwy.
how
Obviously, anyone that
networks
knows
got
my microphone is
practically
my
zero
webcam
coverage
for the
compared
most
to
part.
CPAC. And part of the reason why is
I
because
found out why the
people
feed
don't
was a
want to
little
be
fucked up.
identified as liberals, right? There's this weird
So,
negative connotation that comes along with that word.
everyone that knows me knows. Thank you.
I don't know what she's doing.
I like you too.
She says that
Yeah.
Adam lives in a liberal bubble, and so he may have had a few conversations.
Well, you'll be in
with a few
Rochester in the
people.
morning? What time?
Now, if you're living in the liberal bubble, i.e., you're in the entertainment industry, then you can read a whole bunch of books about.
Thanks for the
this,
suggestion,
liberal
Eric.
bias, in the media. It's very clear and very extensive. So he's not just had a few conversations with a few people, and so now she's going to explain why conservatism is a bad word.
Anyway,
it's weird that
there's a few
liberalism
people
is ever
that I wanted to
considered a bad
broadcast
word,
for.
right? See, for conservatives, it's justified to think of them negatively, but for liberals, it's just kind of
mainly
weird. I mean, why? So,
Don
anyway,
Sebastian,
weird,
Gabby,
prejudicial anti-thinking. Let's
actually,
continue.
let me change
And
that.
so, look, there are
Don,
liberals on one
Sebastian,
side
Gage,
saying
and
liberal's
Gabby.
a dirty word, it's unfair. You have conservatives on one side saying
It's
conservative
very
is a
seldom
bad
that they
word,
get to
it's
watch
unfair.
broadcasts because I'm
The
usually on at
reality is, if you
7:30,
really want to focus
7:45,
on why
somewhere around there.
conservative has become a pejorative, as you mentioned in that
And
clip.
tonight, I
Let's talk
decided,
about all
you know
the
what,
different
I'm going to air
issues
a little
that
bit
he
earlier.
discussed,
I was going
right?
to air
So
about
the
the
issue
same
of
time.
education. He
I was
really
going to air
gives a
at
shit
this
about
time
education.
yesterday,
Do you
and
think conservatives
like I said, I had
care
some
about
microphone
education?
trouble.
Let's just look at one example.
You know,
In
so
2013,
I had
House
to make sure
Republicans
I
failed to
got
compromise
everything
on a
all
student
good
loan
here.
interest bill,
So
and that led to the doubling
tonight,
of the student loans that
in a
people were
broadcast for
getting.
them,
So, for instance, the Stafford loan, which is a federal student
apparently,
loan,
I'm not going to get into the details over the air. If we want to talk about this privately, we can.
6.8%, right?
Okay, so what she's basically arguing, and this is
You know,
very,
just
very
everybody that knows the situation as well, aware of what's going on.
she's basically arguing is that
I'll kill the background noise.
Something and make it, quote, more available to the poor will automatically do better. In other words, if we can get more people into college, then it's going to be a lot better because poor people will get educated and get smart. And
can you hear me better now?
Well, this is bizarre cause and effect reversal. So it's true, let's say in the past. So in the past, before World War II, about 10%
plug in my other camera from my other mic, the one that I don't really like to use because it takes too much time to set up.
And you got scholarships, so it wasn't just about rich and poor and so on. So,
you know, I might lose the audio for a minute while I do this.
Which got a whole bunch of servicemen who were returning from fighting socialism to get indoctrinated into socialism by the socialist professors who had fled the European socialist hells they created over the previous couple of decades. You get lots more people going into college. In the 1960s, a lot of kids went into college, so they didn't have to go to Vietnam because indoctrination is still better than. And so you've had this massive increase. In the 70s, 7% of kids high school went some sort of higher education. So this is just automatically considered a better. But this is ridiculous.
I'm going to try and
it doesn't take more than a moment's thought to realize this. So
work here and set this up.
Very early on in life. It tends to be one of the great constants in a person's life. So saying that if we get more people into college, they'll be smarter is like saying if we get more short people to play basketball, they'll be taller. Why?
I'm going to goof up just a little
tall
bit.
people play basketball. So clearly, if we get more short people to play basketball, they'll be taller. This is actually what Elliot Roger wrote in his insane, crazed, violent manifesto before he went on a shooting spree. This doesn't make any sense at all. College is for smart people. Putting dumber people into college does not make them smarter. It makes them fail, and it puts them heavily in debt. So let's look at some facts. Student loans in college are largely due to a federal intervention. I'll put the sources for all of this below. So, the problem is called credit inflation, or credential inflation. I guess called credit inflation in terms of giving people loans. Credential inflation. So when more and more people get, quote, free loans or subsidized loans to go into college, then employers expect more people to have a college degree.
So now that we're here, you know, I figured I could just get this going.
Hired hundreds of people, and I'm telling you, I didn't care whether somebody had a degree or not at all. I cared whether they were
You know.
passionate about the subject, and I also was more impressed by people who educated
So
themselves.
now
Also,
that we
as
got
an
that
employer,
set up,
I liked hiring people who weren't burdened by the average U.S.
you know, we're gonna set the
$20,000
default
college debt
device.
I could pay them less. You see, and they could end up making more take-home money because they weren't these huge debts. So what we did was we gave some tests.
So we're gonna be
we
here for a
would,
while.
Let people in. I don't care whether they've gone to college
I
or
think
not.
I may
I did not take computer science in college.
Got
and I was
a little
the
crazy
head
here.
technical officer and head research and development coder for the entire business. So what did I care? Whether people
You know.
have gone to college or not. So
Can you guys hear me now?
There are some
I had to
disciplines where college is
change
not, but there are
microphones
disciplines where it's a handicap.
Because apparently
Because you
the
have to pay people more
webcam
to
microphone
cover those
is a little bit
fees.
muffled.
You are not guaranteed an associated rise in
Thank you for
productivity.
joining
Now,
us
if
tonight.
you are, then
Glad to
fantastic.
be with you.
Like in other words, it's someone who you have to pay someone $1,000 more a
Tonight's
month
show, like I said,
pay off their
I
college
originally wasn't
loans.
going to put together tonight. I was going to put it together yesterday. We had family over,
Fantastic, right?
and
But if
I
your college
decided,
degree
you know,
only gives you $500
at the last minute
more
today to
than
throw it
the employer, but
together.
the applicant is demanding
I was going to do it this
$1,000 more
afternoon, but
because they have to pay off their college.
the only
loans.
reason was I didn't really prepare for it, you know, like I should have.
To get people
And I
into
decided, you know what,
technical positions or higher
I
paying
was
positions,
kind of screwing around a little bit, and I was like, nah,
now, one of the
I
reasons
think I
that
got
I'm
enough
able to do
preparation
this,
for
but in
work today.
America and you
And
can't, is
we're ready.
because
We're live.
in 1971 the U.S. Supreme Court
The
issued a
show
ruling
is being mainly
that took it out.
set off
It's
at this time that it's currently on right now.
saying that
So,
companies, if companies
my
use
friends
aptitude
Dawn,
testing to screen
Sebastian,
potential employees, they
Gage, and
must be
Gabby
prepared to
can
show that
watch.
their tests are precisely calibrated to
Yes,
the
that's
needs of
the
the job.
same Dawn that we hear me
Otherwise,
talk
they will
about on
be
Facebook once
guilty
in a while.
of employment discrimination. If their tests
Yes,
screen out minority
that
workers,
one.
you might have been able to do the
The
work.
great one.
Now, the moment you start talking about discrimination suits, everybody just
It's
stands
Pepsi, Dawn.
out of that particular area. So, rather than face discrimination suits by the federal government, most employers started using a
No
less
alcohol right
precise
now.
but legally
I gotta
safe
watch wrestling later.
method of screening applicants'
Uh,
college degree. So the government basically banned
Didn't really
one of the
stop me
most
from drinking
advantageous
before,
tools
but, you know,
employers have to hire
Yeah.
poor people, which
Tonight,
do not
you
require
know,
a college degree, but instead to look for
I'm feeling
aptitude
pretty good.
testing.
Just
Government basically banned that. With
not really up to
the
drinking, to be honest with you.
And so this has been absolutely catastrophic for the poor. As you know, again,
On my days that I'm
basic
usually
supply
home all day, I
and
kind of like to spend it with my pup, my cat.
don't have
You know,
any clue about
I'm kind of a
but I guess we have the evidence of that.
dork like that.
So when huge
What
numbers
the
of people
fuck?
start
Can you hear me?
wanting to get into college, the price of college goes up.
Okay, good.
Supply and demand. Increased supply, relatively fixed.
Well, the deal is this.
Increased demand,
We're
relatively
live.
fixed supply means
This is just
rise in
not a
prices.
tape delay.
So when all this
This
money
is a real
starts
life
pouring
show.
into colleges not raising tuition.
Live, brother.
And of course,
Oh, fuck.
politicians cannot
I
resist.
forgot to share it on your link, too.
Families with college students and kids who might be heading to college.
You know, once I,
By increasing the size of federal grants and loans to make college growth
you know,
more
I'm
affordable.
live and
And
living
then
college.
wow, lots of demand,
Whoops.
lots of money, so let's just start cranking up tuition.
Where are you?
And
Are
then
you
after
watching?
a few years, the tuition increase is entirely predictable. As a
Because
result,
there's kids watching, I'm gonna
oh my goodness,
try not to swear as
college
much.
is getting more expensive.
Like I
You
usually,
need more,
you know, I kind of
government
cut back
help
on the
with
swearing
college,
on there
and
anyway,
you
because it's not really
basically this,
right,
mess.
especially if you're gonna
There's
be
a huge amount of corruption in the
doing
college
broadcasts in the future
that
are
New York's Attorney
gonna be,
General Andrew
you know,
Cuomo,
taking more serious approaches to the shows we're gonna run.
Said that there was a massive
I personally don't know
for example,
when we're gonna start doing
had established, sorry,
broader broadcasted shows, but we I am talking to a couple different people about some other options to do different types of show lines in the future.
So top financial aid officials at major
some
universities had profited through their
possibly,
stock ownership in
you know, I
firms
hate to say it,
that
but,
schools
you know,
preferred
especially,
list.
you know, I'm
This
kind of
was a huge mess.
little bit
So what happens?
weirded out by this, but, you know, eventually get off YouTube and go, you know, broadcast in public somewhere.
While they generate fail. So while unemployment among college graduates
but
is only slightly
if I did
higher than
that,
overall
you know,
rates,
I wouldn't know the
study
exact
of
year.
college graduates found that almost 40% of recent graduates are working in jobs
I
that
had
do
some
not require
options,
a college degree.
but
And this, of course, means that for those jobs,
right now the biggest option I got is just to broadcast and keep going.
People coming off whose degrees are irrelevant to whatever job they end up.
So,
that
shit,
drives
I
wages.
just lost my.
So
Did I lose the
if you
feed?
study for 4 years, it's going to cost you maybe $200. You've got tuition, you've got living expenses, of course, you have books.
Hello.
Hi everybody, this is Stefan Molyneux from Free Debate Radio. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are strapped in to your truth armchair, ready for some shocking historical facts and arguments. So, I watched what I guess you could loosely call debate between
Hello.
Jay Stewart and one B.
Whew.
Regarding white privilege. Now, white privilege, for those of you who don't know,
The fuck's going on? I can't hear a thing.
White privilege is the privilege that white people have as the result of being lords and masters of slaves.
There you go. Now I can hear myself again. When I hear.
Not only slavery, but
Shit.
Jim Crow, voting restrictions, segregation laws, and so on, which were to a large degree repealed in the 1964 Civil Rights Act and before, and since then there has been a lot of
Okay.
affirmative action.
Oh fuck.
Quotas, racial quotas,
So sometimes when I can't hear myself actually talking, it kind of weirds me out because my microphone sometimes shits the bed. You know. You know.
In 2010, it was 110,000, 69
Oh,
for
just kinda
Asians,
getting.
$7,424 for
What the
Hispanics,
fuck?
and $4,995 for blacks. Not particularly great. White Americans have 22 times more wealth than blacks. Median income for Asians was $68,036. 57,000.
So who's watching? I don't know.
Hispanics and 33 and change for blacks. So 60.
I don't know. I don't really care at this point.
For Asians, 57 for whites,
Other than a few people.
39 for Hispanics,
The people that I wanted to watch are watching.
So
No one's watching. Make it up. You literally have no viewership.
Because of course, Asians are doing better than whites.
If I know any of Kristen's viewers, call me right now.
Why the black community is
That
doing
shit won't
better,
happen.
There are two fundamental reasons. One, we will talk about in this presentation. And
Hey Lauren,
one,
how you doing?
we will leave for another time. But let's
You
look
know.
at some of the historical realities behind this debate. So here we have
Yeah, so one of our
John Stewart,
faithful
22,
viewers, Dominic Medea, had
an
a birthday
American
the other day.
Irish, right?
Yesterday, he
Irish
turned the
descent,
big,
yellow, right?
actually it was 2 days ago rather, he
Let's
turned the
look
big
at where, say, Jews
29 for
and
the
Irish stood in the slavery question, say in the 18th century.
third straight year.
So on the one side you have the Irish, and the Irish.
Gotta love our boys at
serfs
National
in
Structures.
Ireland. They fled the potato famine, endless British oppression,
We're
and so on.
we're all
And
big
the
fans
British
over here.
sold the Irish as slaves into
Fucking thing.
North America, and
Excuse
they were
my
actually
language.
sold
Sorry.
for less
Sorry,
money
Don.
than African slaves because they were less used to war,
Not to
less hardy, and so on.
goofy on
And they were treated worse in
You know,
general than
so-
black slaves. So when John Stewart is talking to
You
Bill
know, once I
O'Reilly, he's talking
well,
to
let's see if I can.
a member of a group who were former
Yeah,
slaves
cool.
about how he has white privilege
Sure, we'll look from both.
because
You're welcome.
he's from white slaves. This is complete. On the other hand, we have John Stewart.
Gotta like my fellow
of the Jewish
Sunshine Camp alumni.
members of the Jewish persuasion were kind of disproportionately high in the representation of people who bought and sold and ran slaves. So in the
Oh
South,
shoot.
oftentimes you couldn't even buy or sell a slave on a Jewish holiday because the Jews were
You know,
celebrating
Laura,
their
it's
faith rather than facilitating
it's fitting.
buying and selling of slaves.
I saw you subscribed to the show. Thankfully you're
During
subscribed.
the time of slave ownership, about
You know,
5%.
I'm very happy to see that.
Slaves, 5%.
I got a guest that wants to join me here. Hold on a second.
In the same country, in Jewish households,
I'm not
there are
going
estimates
anywhere.
that
I'm
between
staying right
40
here.
and 75% of Jews own slaves. 5% of whites owning slaves, 40 to 75%.
This is
of
my,
Jews owning slaves.
Broadcast partner.
Jewish privilege than it would be generic white privilege.
Meet the producer of the show, everybody.
Didn't like the institution of
This is
slavery
Amy.
for
Dump
three
dog that
reasons.
she is.
Number one, they were taxed
Whew. Actually, she's
to
not
pay
dumb.
for the government to enforce
She's actually a pretty
slavery.
smart dog,
You can't
but
have
she just
slavery
stayed out of my
unless
way most of the
government is gonna
time.
go and grab the slaves and bring them back to the plantation
puppy.
if they try to escape. Unless the government
Thank
is
you.
going to enforce slave contracts.
Alright.
So they had to. The whites were taxed
Did I even
to
turn
pay
on my
for
Hangout
the
software?
capture and return of slaves. So
Maybe
they didn't
not.
like that. Number
Let me
two,
go look.
they were
Oh,
press ganged, they were drafted
Hi.
into forming
kissing on there, huh?
these slave capture patrols.
Oh,
So
you're my baby.
you'd
That's
have
my
to go
girl.
out as a poor or middle class white. You'd
Yes, I
go
said my
out,
girl.
roam
Please.
around
Fat
the
dog.
streets and alleys and byways,
All right, wanna
looking
go?
for escaped slaves. Did you want to do that? You
Wanna go
really
down?
did. Number 3.
All right.
Third reason
Come back
why
when you're ready to
a lot of
broadcast.
whites really hated slavery, because it drove
Yeah, that was my producer.
for relatively unskilled.
She says that she's
hard to complete,
bored.
hard to compete with free labor. So this is
So I gotta
another reason
spruce it
why
up.
Whites hated slavery and did not economically benefit from slavery, but rather what slavery did was by putting everyone's money into human labor, it prevented the development of automated equipment. Right, so at the turn of last century, like 90% of American farming, now it's like 2 or 3% because it's been automated. Why has it been automated? Because
as far as shows in the future are concerned, this is the probably the earliest we'll broadcast ever. You know, unless something comes up and we do like an early afternoon show like we used to do when I first started. But they're generally a pain in the ass to do because they're just so much usually going on. And really, this might be the only weekend I'm home this early for a while. So, you know, that's the scoop on that. If I'm home early enough during the week, I'll probably broadcast around the same time if I can. It all depends on how many, you know, whatever's going on around here, really. Gosh, I'm gonna do a lot more. Like I said, though, you know, there's been a couple people like the other day when I was out and about. I was in United Bar. I was actually early afternoon. I was out somewhere, and somebody asked me that knows me from McDonald's. You know, they actually, I think they actually texted me. They were like, "Oh, when are you gonna do a broadcast for?" It was something they have going on. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It wasn't like a GoFundMe or anything like that, but it was just something simple. And it's like, yeah, you know, whatever. You know, if you talk to me beforehand and when I have time to put it on the air, if I'm not discussing something else, I'll go ahead and broadcast it. But, you know, just let me know ahead of time and I can promote it for you. Otherwise, I can't promote what I don't know.
I appreciated your words, but I felt like you were a little bit off there. What vanilla I said, what everyone reported was right. It was there. It was out there. What did
it's just one of those things.
I'm looking at you right over
there. And I've said time and time again, you know, I know at least this particular person, I know he watches when he can. Sometimes it's not live, but after the fact. But
wow, I remember the old days.
Being that this person works, you know, I can't expect him to watch every, you know, every night. You know. But if it's got a free minute, he watches, which is good. You know. You know, I don't really. As I've gotten deeper into this endeavor, I've started to care a lot less about how many people are watching as I air live, because it really doesn't make a difference. You know. You know, one thing you learn,
I will be 100% honest with you.
You know, one thing you learn when you broadcast, especially when you go to do some of these broadcasting courses online, you know, through YouTube. It's not the broadcast, it's not the amount of viewers you get when you initially broadcast, but the consistency in which, you know, they watch your videos after the fact. You know, because unless you get, you know, you're someone with like 10,000 subscribers, where you have actually, you know, not only, you know, I'm actually at a point, I only have 40, but if you've posted as many videos as I have, you have the option to monetize your videos and make money off of them. You just got to set up a bank account for it. And personally, I know how much I have in there, you know, already from viewers from all the shows put together and some of the regular videos I put up over the years. Because I've had this account for 11 years. I just never really started broadcasting until I, you know, the last couple of years or so. You know, it's just, it's simple. But the thing is, you know, once you broadcast more often, they put limits on how much you can do on the air. And whenever there's cash money involved, it's usually a situation that's a no-win for the broadcaster, because it's, you know, you can't put, like, for example, when I first started doing this, as a serious thing and not just a joke like I was at the start, I used to post, I used to play like bands like Metallica, Rolling Stones, whatever people asked me to play,
Why weren't you in Brazil, Joe?
Most of the time it wasn't a problem because I didn't ever really monetize the videos, but I'd always get notices in my email, my Gmail account saying, hey, you aired this, you can't make money off of it, just remember in the future, you can't monetize videos once you put that type of stuff in there. There's been some bands that, don't like their music on YouTube at all. Jay-Z is one of them. You play any Jay-Z on your shows, they will mute your content. You are unable to make a profit or actually have it actually on your channel without deleting the content anyway. Which, it's a wasted broadcast. No matter how many viewers you got, you might as well put that broadcast right in the can, because what's the point of keeping it online if your entire show's muted on the count of one artist? So that's the story with that. As far as the story with bands like Metallica, I've read different things, but I've also looked through my allowed artists, at least that's what they call it in my particular feed. What I can air and what I can't air. I can air, as of the last time I looked, I can put on most Metallica and not worry. I wouldn't be able to make money off of it, but that's not a problem. I just, it's just a personal thing with me. But that's, I think in general, I think a lot of musicians are pissed off. Actually, it's not even necessarily musicians, because especially when you're in a situation like Metallica, when you run your own record label at this point. When you own your own content, and you answer to nobody. Doesn't matter. It's like, the Stones don't even care, actually, to be honest with you, from what I saw. As long as it's like the earlier material, which is all I put on anyway, because I can't stand anything past like 1970 something. And my big thing is, if I don't like it, I won't put it on my station. Because it makes no sense to me. I'll air it if I like it, but if I don't like it, I'm not going to air it, If I'm indifferent, which means if I don't really care, that's one thing, I'll air it. As long as I've looked into it, and, I got to answer this. Hello? When your boss calls, you got to answer the phone. All right. Yep. Yeah, I changed my mic over because with the webcam mic, it kind of everything you hear, obviously if you have a webcam or a computer with the webcam built into it, because a lot of these all-in-one computers have webcams built into them. everything you air gets picked up, you know. And me personally, I'll never have them all on one computer in my lifetime, because partially I'm very, I can be pretty violent at times if my computer doesn't do something I like, and I'd rather not get that way. That's my opinion on it, though. But yeah, as I'm saying, I'm sorry I took a little break. I had to answer a phone call from the boss. Not Bruce Springsteen, my uncle. Support Jewel Electric. Remember, all right? Support my paycheck. But anyway, I don't mind playing what you guys want to hear, as long as it's something I can actually play without getting the entire broadcast muted once I am done streaming for the evening. Because it's, you know, it makes no sense to broadcast if you're getting muted after the fact. You know, it's a waste of airtime and a waste of your breath. And that's not my idea of fun. It says you're watching. Oh, I never sent the link to my followers. Whoops, that could be bad. That explains why they're not watching, because I never even put them in the show. Whoops. Thank you, Dean. You know, you're live and on the air. Not real. Well, you're not live and on the air. You're watching, but you're not live and on the air. So, how many years is hey Chris over at National Structures? How many years is Dominic going to be 29 before he turns 30 again? That's all right. I'm still debating if I want to be 33 this year or 30. Nah, I don't really care about my age. You know, I'm one of those people, I don't really give a shit. Excuse my language. Oops, sorry, kids watching. I don't really care. Age is age. You know, getting old is a blessing. Growing up, you earn it. You know. Yeah. Ed, see this new microphone? I've actually had it for a while. It's like one of those old vintage boxing microphones. And in this corner, with the pink trunks, weighing in at 6,000. No, just kidding. I won't be broadcasting that on the air. Now, to break away from the music discussion before I get too much out of hand here, there's 4 viewers that are watching that I want to address. I've already mentioned their name over the air, and I will. You know, I want to say something real quick. I don't know where to start, and I'm not going to get into too much over the air because I don't really feel it's the time or the place. But I will say what I'm allowed to say, and I will say to everybody, because that's one of the reasons they wanted to watch together. Obviously, anyone that knows me, at least outside of Facebook or work, either work meaning the Arkham Monroe, McDonald's, or even Jewel Electric, knows of my time at Rotary Sunshine Camp. Many years ago, I had the distinct privilege of being in camp with two very lovely girls who turned out to be very lovely women and great parents, Dawn and Leslie Polk. Well, I'm not going to get into the air or get into a discussion on the air about Dawn's situation, because everyone knows Dawn's situation. That knows Dawn, and with Dawn watching, I'm going to be very careful what I say, because, you know, I promised I wouldn't bring that up over the air, and I'm not going to. But I did want to bring at least my personal feelings, you know, over there, because I want the world, especially her and people she has watching, or will have watching after the show is, you know, put in the can, so to speak, to replay. You know, there are very few people, and I mean this not just for me, but for everybody in general. Everybody. Because there's not a person on this planet that meets, you know, everyone they meet makes a positive impact on their life. You know, and anyone that says everyone I've met has made a positive impact on my life, you'd be lying. But if there was one person, you know, in my life that I can say made a very positive impact, I'd say Dawn was one of them. Very positive person, you know, very caring, courageous, has a heart of gold. When I worked at McDonald's, you know, I'm going to bring this up because it's more recent and memories that she would remember. Obviously stuff her own kids that are actually old enough to understand. I'm pretty sure the youngest isn't, because, you know, the youngest is only my little nephew's age. So, but, you know, it's one of those things, you know, there's, you know, people, especially people that make positive impacts in your life, they have a way of, you know, really touching your heartstrings. And, you know, and I'm not going to say like in an emotional type of way, you know, but in a, you know, just a way where, you know, anything they do just kind of has a way of sneaking in on your own, you know, life, and kind of get you to thinking about how you could do things to sort of be like them, or at least try and think like they do. You know, I'm one of those people, you know, and anyone that knows me that is actually mutually as close to Dawn, or anyone that she's ever associated with that I'm personally still close with. I mean, there's a couple people out there that I can name, but I'm not going to, because you know who you are. You know, you can tell me, you know, tell you're blue in the face. Oh, yeah. You know, that, you know, I don't know. You could tell me a lot of different things, but there's one thing you couldn't tell me, and that she's, you know, not that person, but she is. You know, you could, you know, part of the reason I'm wearing the Bulls cap is because I can't find my Bulls jersey, my Jordan jersey that's older than Jesus. Yeah, it's actually probably about 25. But anyway, I should have wore the Jordan jersey. But anyway, I didn't. I know where it is. I just, you know, I gotta clean it actually, because for a while there I used it to, you know, when I first got Annie, I used that as her little pillow. And obviously, being that she's a small dog, it turned to her little doggy space. You know. But anyway, getting back on the subject. Hey, thank you. I have said as much as I would like to say about certain things, but there's certain people where you could tell them, or not you could tell. There's certain people you could talk about them all day and still not say enough about them, and she's one of them. You know, when I first, you know, I shouldn't say when I first started working at McDonald's. I started working at McDonald's 2011. But when I first started on their payroll, because I worked through the state for the first 11 months, you know, I probably saw, actually, looking back, I probably saw Dawn a few times before everything happened with her health. You know, I just, you know, and I talked to everybody. Being up in lobby, you do. That's all you do is talk to people once you're working, because you're the glorified receptionist, you know, so to speak. You just clean and keep active. Anyway, one particular time, shortly after her benefit that her family put together for her, mainly her sister Les, and a few other people maybe, I saw her at work with her kids, her two youngest at the time, or still her two youngest, Gage and Gabby. They came in, and at first I didn't recognize Dawn because she was wearing a cap and a bandana over her head, and I was cleaning the exit door window, and well, I see this young lady walking in with the stroller and two kids, and she puts her hand on it, and immediately we lock eyes, and it's like, holy shit, my exact reaction. It's Dawn. Well, and she was like, hi, Chris, how you doing? And it's like, we exchanged pleasantries, and she got some fries for her kids, which I'm pretty sure she got discounted for because I walked up to the counter with them. I'm not sure if that's correct, though. Only she would know if she'd remember. But, that was over 3 years ago, so I'm pretty sure she doesn't at this point, because other things in life have taken precedent over how much she paid for a meal at McDonald's. But, before everything went south with me and a couple of the people over there, especially, I'm not going to get into that part of the discussion tonight, because I don't want to, because it's a show of positivity tonight. All complete positive. No, I don't want to bring up any negative things, because it's just not the way I want to operate tonight. Nothing bad. I'm not going to slam anyone at McDonald's, the management or anything. I don't have any reason to. But I'm going to say this. They were, at this particular moment, they were very good to me. And they kind of let things kind of slide. When they saw Dawn come in with her kids, they let me talk to her. Even though I was only working a short 3-hour shift that night. Or afternoon, rather. And so it was one of those deals where, I got, we got to talk for, looking back, was probably about half an hour, because that's how long she was there with her kids. And after that, when I got home that evening, I was all smiles. Not even because of Dawn, but actually because of something her little daughter did, Gabby, her youngest, and good kid, by the way. She got some ketchup and some, fry grease on her stroller, and asked me to clean it. And generally speaking, when you work in food service, you're only supposed to do the job that's presented in front of you. You're not supposed to clean personal property of the customers, But for that particular moment in time, they gave an exception to the rule, which luckily for them was a good idea, because even though things were going pretty good at the time, I probably would have walked out if they had a complaint about it. But anyway, after the fact, I was done cleaning it up, the ketchup mess and the grease mess and the fries on the stroller and whatnot, and the table. We exchanged pleasantries again, goodbyes, and well, I'm gonna take my hat off, really. We talked over the phone about a couple hours later, and well, anyway, before they left, I gave the two little ones a hug, and then I gave Dawn a hug, and before they left, Gabriella, she jumped into my arms and gave me a kiss on the forehead. Probably the first time that ever happened at work, and the last time, from what I know. Other than when family would come in, the little ones, But that's the kind of people she's raising, and I'm actually coming to find out over the last few months that her oldest is in the YouTube industry like me as well, so to speak, and I'm going to help him get to where he wants to be successful doing what he's doing. Whether or not he's going to keep up with it well into his teen years, as long as I'm able, and he's willing to let me help him, you know, I will help him out. You know, as long as it's okay with Mama Bear. You know, I won't do anything that puts, you know, Dawn in a position where she's mad at me. Ever. I did that in camp. Numerous fights. With these. Bad idea. Not with her. I never got violent with her. Never got violent with her. It's usually other boys in the cabin. I'd beat the, you know, like I'd get into fights with one of the particular campers, Dave Messenger. At the time, it was a scumbag. It was just we were kids, 13, 14 years old. You know, I was only 13. He was 14 or 15, something like that. You know, I would beat his ass religiously. One particular time, I whooped his ass by the swimming pool, tossed him in. Dawn was standing, you know, across from where we were as I was whooping his ass, and she ran over to me and backhanded me right in the mouth. Ouch. Well, one particular time, and this wasn't a fight, but there was one particular memory at dinner when we were given chicken, and let's say obviously when we're kids, camp food, you know, not the greatest. Not the greatest at all. And I'll tell you this much. When I first, like I said, when I first started going to camp, I didn't really follow as much. But of course, when you're young and you're stupid like I was, you know, I'm watching the broadcast. That's what you can hear. When you're young and you're stupid like I was, you know, you get to a point in life where you're trying to find out who you are and just where you're going. And, you know, and I've said this to everybody who at least other campers and counselors that actually stuck around from that particular year of camp to, you know, up to my last year as a even volunteer counselor. You know, that was my favorite year at camp because we had a lot of fun. We played a lot of basketball, shot a lot of, we played a lot of, well, actually, I didn't play pool. I swam in the pool. I sucked. I hated swimming. And I still don't like the pool. But I look at it like this. The world is an easy place to get around. You just got to understand who you are, you know, who you are around and why you're around them. And as I've gotten older and I've seen things a little differently than I used to, not to sound cliche or corny, but there's people I'm glad I'm around. There's people I'm glad I'm not like. You know.
I think he's doing his broadcast bullshit.
I am broadcasting. You know. It's like I saw a meme on Facebook. I don't have any role models. I have people I just don't want to be like. You know. But if, you know, not to say I want to be like Dawn, but because I don't, you know, because she's a woman and I'm a man. But if I could take one thing from her and, you know, say I've instilled it in myself throughout the years, it's how to be gracious and graceful to people despite everything you go through in life. And if there's anybody in this world that I can say I'm grateful that I've ever met and found a way to somehow, I won't say weasel my way in their life, but become a part of their story, so to speak. I'm glad she's one of them. I'm glad I've met her. I'm glad I've met some of her family. All of her siblings, actually, except for one who lives overseas, Mike, who was actually a viewer of this show. But one day, hopefully, if I ever cross the pond and go to Belfast, we'll definitely have a drink together. Lord willing. But hopefully it's soon. If I ever venture across the pond, we'll do that, Mike. But I can be honest, and say, oh, this is the way I gotta broadcast. Or I can lie and say, this is what's gonna have to happen. Number one, nothing has to happen. This is broadcast tonight, but it's off the cuff. I didn't plan to discuss too many different things. Just however long I discuss everything will be as long as I want to broadcast. So this show may go another hour, might go another 10 minutes, might go another 5 minutes. It won't go another hour, actually, because I got to watch a pay-per-view in a few, like 7 o'clock. But it's so that the pre-show, I don't have to watch it if I don't want to. As long as I'm watching the actual pay-per-view by 8, I'm good. I don't really care about the pre-show, to be honest with you. But, But anyway, back to the subject at hand. If I could, like I said, if I could pick anybody in life to be like, at least as far as instilling things in my own maybe future family or my own, even if I didn't have a family, which I probably won't at this point because I'm getting a little bit old, long in the tooth, so to speak, But I won't have any of my own physical offspring. I can guarantee you that at this point. But if I were to have any offspring or adopted children at some point down the line, and I was, told to teach them at least one thing, or taught to teach them one thing, I'd teach them always be gracious and graceful to people, and always try to accept others for who they are, because you never know, it could be you in trouble one day. And I feel for me I'm grateful for everything I have. I'm grateful that I'm in good health right now and happy and alive. There's a lot of people out there that aren't in that company, that are good people, whereas there's a lot of really lousy people out there that are in great health, that are going to live to see tomorrow probably without a problem, whereas there's people who are undeservedly dying young or at all, really. It doesn't matter how old they are, from 35 or 95. Makes no sense.
You don't have it written down.
I don't care who you are.
No, you don't.
If you're not healthy for whatever given reason,
Yeah, it's 9:30.
and you're a good person, you contribute to society,
Yeah, 9:30.
you deserve to be
Dr.
healthy
Perry,
and you deserve
okay.
to be alive. But if you're a scumbag and all you do is, screw the public and everybody else around you, then you shouldn't be breathing the same air that I do. Going back to what I said about the meme on Facebook, I don't have role models. I have people I knew I didn't need to be like. I don't need to be like those people. And going back to something I discussed a few shows back, I love my focus on this broadcast will always be how to accept how some shows aren't going to be good and some shows are going to be great. There's like I've said before, there's times I've left the air and felt like I didn't accomplish a damn thing. But like I've said numerous times in numerous different posts this weekend, this particular broadcast wasn't put together to draw interest from 50 viewers or 30 viewers or 130 viewers. It was put together to be aired for people like Dawn to watch. Because honestly, knowing that she's watching even if she's not gonna watch the entire show, knowing she's able to watch the broadcast gives me great pride. It replaces any fear that I ever have with positivity. You know, I don't need to watch. I don't need 1,000 viewers. I don't need 15 viewers. If I have that one viewer that watches one show, you know, yeah, even if it's, you know, not mainly though, I get pretty solid viewer count after the fact. You know, if I have that one viewer that watches my show and says, "Hey, that was a kick-ass broadcast. You did great," it brings a smile to my face because at least I know it touched somebody. That's what you got to do. You know, you can't worry about, oh, I have 42 people watching. Who cares? What does it matter? If you have 42 people watching, which I actually don't know how much I have watching because I'm on Hangouts. I'm not on actual YouTube. You know, it goes streamed to YouTube, but you know, I couldn't care less. You know, as long as, like I said, as long as I have that one person that's watching that's happy, that says, "Hey, you did a great job, hell of a show, bro." You know, let me tell you that makes me feel way better because that's all that matters. One happy face is better than none. And I know there's people out there, they're gonna, you know, tell me later on down the road, "Hey, you did a great job tonight," or "You did a great job last night," or whenever they see me, "Hey, that broadcast you did on Sunday, where you did that little, you know, discussion about your friend Dawn or whatever, you know, that was great." You know, that means something to me. When you put, you know, when you put something over, you know, when you, like I said, I'm going to say it again. When I first started doing these broadcasts, I did them because I wanted to have something to do with myself when I was home on the weekends, you know, because I was working weekdays at McDonald's doing prep and whatnot, and especially, you know, when I wasn't able to go with my uncle because obviously working till, you know, working at 7 in the morning and, you know, going back out to work, you know, after you got home kind of gets tiresome. And you can't really pull double duty. You know, mind you, it's only 5 hours, and I can handle it. I've been pulling all-nighters since I was old enough to crawl or walk or even talk in some cases. You know, I don't, you know, all-nighters for me, for the most part, those are a thing of the past. I can't even do them anymore. The last time I stayed up all night was for a Metallica live stream. I stayed up till 4:30 in the morning, actually it was probably closer to 5. You know, imagine, you know, because I wanted to be up to watch a live Metallica show that was airing because they're going to play a new song, and I wanted to hear it. And I ended up staying up till 5 in the morning and watched the whole show. That was Mother's Day last year. Ouch. You spend the whole night drinking coffee, you know, and by the time you actually get to sleep, it's closer to 6 o'clock. So you're sleeping till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, not fun. Normally, I could have probably, you know, and obviously you're not going to drink beer at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, especially when you got 3 hours worth of something you really want to watch, which for me personally, if I have anything I want to watch, I won't drink anything. And that doesn't even, that rule applies even if I'm out at bars watching bands play. I won't, if there's somebody playing that I want to see play, or there's something I want to see in general, whether it's music or some form of entertainment, I don't drink because I don't tempt fate because there's no reason to. If I have things to do, I don't drink. But that rule also applies to caffeine too. Because if I drink too much caffeine, I spend more time pissing than actually being able to entertain my guests, if I have any. You know, and that's just, it is what it is. So more. Sorry, more things I'd like to say. Hey, there's my bull's head again. It's going back on because I can't stand looking at my hair. Annie! I gotta see my producer real quick. I'm not leaving the air. I'm gonna pick her up. Hey, come here. Come here, puppy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here, puppy. You'd think after a year she'd outgrow being so timid, but not really. That's not part. That's what her breed does. She's kind of lazy. She's a pain in the ass, So, I know. I like to be funny. This is Annie. She's my girl, and she's going to be over the air, on the air, and off the air pretty much whenever I decide to put her on the show, because she's my number one. She's my biggest fan. Right, Annie? Like you is the biggest fan. You are my biggest fan ever. My little puppy. This dog right here is the best. She's the best right now. She's the champ. She's broadcasting because that's what she does. Hey, talk. Once in a while I can actually get her to speak. She probably won't tonight because she's comfortable. What's up? Tell the world what's up. How do you do? What are you doing tonight? What are we doing? We're going to watch wrestling tonight? Are we? Yes? Tell me. Bark. Bark. Woof woof. Okay. You don't want to talk? I love you. Anyways, Annie's on the air. I think I'm going to hold you the duration of the broadcast because I love her and she's my baby. I know. Anybody that wants to talk, if you got something for me to talk about that's relatively important, that's cool. This is Annie, everybody, again. And she's leaving the air because she's tired. Well, she's not really tired. I think she's pissed off at me. What? No, she's not. See? Say hi to everybody. Say hi to Lauren and Dean and Dawn and everybody watching. Say hi. Alright, girl. See you later. I don't like holding her too much when I'm on the air because, I can't really hold the microphone and talk to her. But anyway, that's Annie. She's the girl of the house. My main girl. The love of my life, right, girl? I love that dog. She don't like me a lot of the time anymore. She, thank you. Give me a beer. No beer. It's too early. I gotta watch wrestling. You want beer, you can go grab one for yourself. But I'm not home. Actually, I'm not. No, I'm not interested. I can bring. Everyone says hi, Annie, but she's already gone. Thank you, everybody. I gotta get up eventually. So, when it comes down to what's going on here, I do want the world to know that these broadcasts don't, I don't put things on the air that I'm banned from putting on the air. I put whatever on the air that I can. Oh, shoot. I forgot about Uber conference. No wonder I'm not getting... Connect the stupid thing, you dummy. Yes. No, no, no. You can join the you can actually join the broadcast if you wanted, but it would connect your camera to my feed, which is fine, but keep it appropriate. Yeah. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. I got a lot off my mind. I was able to talk to my friends. Thank you so much, for being a part of this show. And thank you so much for being able to let me come into your homes again this evening for the first time in a while. As I've said before, as long as I'm working with my uncle and I don't have a set time to be home, broadcast will hinge on that. If I have things going on, like right now, I'm actually, for the show, I'm working on a couple different deals. Not like business deals or anything, but deals with different people, about trying to possibly do outside of the box shows, where I can broadcast on their laptops in, bars or places around the community, so I don't have to use Wi-Fi on my phone, or data, rather. If you have Wi-Fi in your place of business and I feel like broadcasting on the phone, that's one thing. But I got to figure out how to do that with this thing, because this thing meaning the phone here. But generally, it takes a lot of battery space, and I don't want to bring my charger everywhere I go, because that's a pain in the balls. And I'm not going to be that person, So generally speaking, unless I can figure out a way I can successfully manage to broadcast without actually using excessive amounts of data, which actually, if you try and do anything through YouTube and you don't have a Wi-Fi service available like you do in your own home, I assume if you're watching this on a cell phone, you probably got a good idea that it costs a bit of money. If you're watching this in an area, even if you've been watching this whole show tonight on your phone and you're using data.
Will you start scripting shows, for Christ's sake? You've been rambling on, and no one knows what the hell you're talking about.
You're probably going to spend about 3 gigs of your data watching an hour's worth of YouTube videos. Especially because I have this on the highest quality, and if you watch on lower quality, it's fine, but I don't think you'd want to, because I know I don't. I hate that. It just makes no sense to me. Why get a $70 webcam and broadcast on low quality feeds? Makes no sense. But I'm not going to spend $150 on a camera that's way better than this one, because honestly, I don't, if I do this, broadcasting thing long term, I'll probably do it outside of YouTube. It's YouTube at some point. And I know that some different apps on phones, especially if I do find a place where I can, connect to Wi-Fi, which a lot of the places I go to in the community do have free Wi-Fi. I'm not going to have to worry about it, but I'm also not going to broadcast somewhere just for the sake of getting on the air. It's ridiculous to me. Tonight the reasoning for getting on the air was to talk about what I've already spoke about. My friend Dawn, and a few other things in the world that came to my attention. My voice is getting a little weak. Shoot. So I'm about ready to go to call the pasture. Maybe not though. But the bottom line is, for me, like I said, I will broadcast as long as it's within reason. If you have something you want me to discuss that's coming up in your community if you're not in Rochester. Well, even if you're in Rochester, like if you're in a community different from mine, like if you're in the city or if you're in Gates or Webster, Brockport, wherever, somewhere in the community close, I will gladly promote it as long as it's within reason. I'm not going to promote something that makes no sense. But yeah, thank you. Why is he? Oh well, talk to him later. So, but so the idea going forward, if I am home, as I said earlier in the broadcast, I would like to, depending on how successful these shows are. I know most people work 9 to 5 or later, so during the week, so these getting out and broadcasting right at 5:30 sometimes ain't going to be feasible. But during Sundays, Saturday and Sunday shows, I think 5:30 will probably be the new start time, because obviously I think it's working. It feels good. I feel pretty successful. But we've had fun tonight, and I'm glad that I got on the air. I gotta do something real quick. Shut up, stupid phone. My phone's making stupid noises again. I gotta do my. I'm gonna start something new with fan signs. It's gonna be a broadcaster sign to my fans. Today's broadcast. That's what this crap is. This is gone. Never mind. I ain't gonna use that. I gotta get my headphones. I gotta get my speakers. These things are about to die. So I'm gonna write a fan sign. I don't know why I just did that. It says hi, Lauren. If you can actually read it from here, I'm not sure how well it looks on your screen, but that's for Lauren, who's watching from Maryland. She used to live here in Rochester. But I'd say hi, Dawn, but she's probably done watching for the evening. If not, I'll find out. I'm sure of it. But anyway, that about wraps it up for us. Was it great? Oh, maybe not. Never mind. I forgot. I got to bring this up. My buddy Mike Smith and another former coworker, David Maldonado, are doing a Father's Day gathering at Ontario Beach Park, which is Charlotte Beach for those of us who live in Rochester. And I love you too. Thank you. That goes to all you guys that have commented on the show feed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, I want to send a shout out and promote my friend Mike Smith and former co-worker. I would say friend, but he's not really a friend. Dave Maldonado is more of a co-worker and an acquaintance. Nice enough guy. I just don't really know him outside. Didn't really know him outside of McDonald's, but they're holding a Father's Day gathering where Mike might speak and say a few words to the people that are there. I'm going to be there. I've made a promise to Mike to show up, and maybe, we'll see a bunch of our friends. And I'd like to give a shout out to my buddy Thomas Ellis from Club YOLO, YOLO Dreams Entertainment, or YOLO Dreams Entertainment Incorporated, and congratulate them on another successful Stop the Violence March. You guys are the best. Love you all. You guys are great. You're all big fans. Once in a while, I see it, on the show feed page, on the actual YouTube, not the YouTube show page, but the Facebook page for the show, rather. I see some of your posts, that you put up, kind of to support the cause. Good job, guys. Anytime you want anything done on your show, on your end, you just let me know and I'll promote your causes. No charge, but I promise if you see me in public, especially in a bar, just give me a beer or something. That's payment enough. No, you don't have to do that. But if you want, you can. No problem. And I know a couple of you guys don't drink, so, I'll get you Cokes or, maybe a water or Pepsi, because I know some of you aren't even caffeine drinkers. But anyway, thank you very much. Anyway, I'd like to... There's a bunch of you guys out there that have watched the show. Maybe not this particular broadcast, but I know a couple of you guys there that are watching that I've already name dropped. Thank you very much. Thank you to all you who've participated in helping to make this show great. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first show we've done since we've reached our 3,000th viewer. Thank you so much again for all that. Actually, we may have done that last show, but if we didn't, I've already acknowledged it. I'm thank you again. I'm not gonna go, look through the feed and find out because I got things I gotta do. I gotta watch a little pay-per-view here in an hour or so. I'm gonna watch the pre-show in a little bit, possibly. I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. I'd like to thank you for the 3,000th viewer, whoever you are. I'd like to thank you, and if I see you out in public, hopefully we can enjoy. I'm pretty sure it's somebody I've enjoyed a beer or two here and there with. I'd like to thank you and possibly see you again out for another drink. If it's somebody that I only see here and there in general, whoever you were, whoever my 40th subscriber was, since a lot of my last couple subscribers have kind of made their statuses private, so I don't know who you are unless you tell me personally. Whoever it was, thank you. But anyway, thank you again, and hopefully I see you out for a beer or something soon. That's a very, very kind gesture to help me out, even if I haven't really done much to help you out. But even if I've done anything to help you out, at least you're reciprocated by helping me. I'm not, I don't need to make a lot of money. I'm not doing this for cash. I don't need to do it for cash, and if I was doing it for cash, I'd let you know. There's Scotty. Say hi to Scotty, everybody. There's Scotty just walking by here. I'm going to see if he lets me pick him up. My viewers get to see the old pick up the cat trick. Okay, the old pick up the cat trick. I don't know if you've heard of it, but this is how we pick up the cat. This, my friends, is Scotty. Where the hell's my headphones? Where did I put them? My headphones are missing. Live on the air. I've missed my headphones. I've misplaced my headphones live on the air. I can't believe this. Oh, yeah, there they are. Right there. Oh! So, this is Scotty, everybody. He's live. He's on the air. He's happy. Well, I don't know how happy he is, because he generally likes to have his treats. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I feed him on the air. Well, the treats. And I know he ain't going to leave until I give him his treats. So if you don't mind watching the cat for a minute. Where you are, buddy? Where are you? I can't see you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you, for those of you who don't believe how much I love this little man, this is how we feed Scotty his treats. We found the mouse that he killed today, so he gets he gets all the treats he wants. Hey, it's okay. Hey, show the world how much you eat. And don't butt my fingers off, please. He's live on the air, and he's... Let me call her. Hey, keep eating. I'm not going to hold this in my hand forever. Alright, I'm going to let you eat, but I'm going to keep... There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, this cat right here is my best buddy. Now, I'm going to let him eat in peace while I'm broadcasting the end of this show here. I gotta get moving here. I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. Lauren, Denny, I think I pronounced that right. Dawn, Hood, Pogue, whatever you want to call yourself. Leslie, or anybody that Dawn may have had watching. And Dawn's wonderful kids. Chris Medea, all the folks at National Structures that watched, probably on their big screen TVs. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us again. It was a great night. Very happy to be here. But unfortunately for me, it's time for me to hit the road. I gotta go. I gotta watch this pay-per-view. But I might leave you with a bit. But I'm gonna do something that Rush Limbaugh does. I'm not gonna leave just yet. I'm gonna speak this last piece. It's called The Closing Arguments. Not really an argument. It's just the closing moments. I'm gonna say this. And this is being totally honest, to go with the theme of what this broadcast has been. Anybody who has ever met somebody who has made a positive impact on your life, if you're watching this broadcast tonight and that person is within walking distance, or not walking distance, but just hugging distance or talking distance, say what they mean to you today and show them, hug them, love them unconditionally, and make sure they realize it now. Because there might come a time where you may not get that chance. And if there's anything that I've ever said on these broadcasts that has ever been serious or meant to be taken serious, this is one of those things. I've done a lot of broadcasts. I've lost count of how much I've actually done. I broadcasted some pretty stupid broadcasts that I really didn't want to do after the fact, and I was just ashamed of myself for even putting them on the air. But this is one of those things where I want you all to know there's a lot of people out there who have touched my life in a positive way, and there's a lot of people out there who have touched my life in a negative way. Danae! Lauren Danae. Like Renee. Okay. I did it! I said it right for a change. Danae. I did it. Thanks to Lauren for the history, the lesson. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, I would like you all to, like I said, if there's anybody within talking distance of you that has touched your life, like Dawn has touched mine, even though she's not within physical talking distance. I can't look around and see her and tell her anything. I've even if you get a text, Dawn prefers texting over talking because she doesn't like talking on the phone because, with all the kids she had, with the 3 kids, it's kind of hard for her to actually multitask, which I can't say I blame her because I've obviously, coming from a family of 12, I can't imagine, especially a mother, that does the things that Dawn does, I can't imagine her being someone who has a lot of time for the phone. But anyway, I'd like you to, if you have somebody who has touched your life in some way, shape, or form, positive, or even, especially positive, reach out to them tonight and tell them how thankful you are that they've reached, they've touched your life either in a way that you want to be like and respect and appreciate, or they've taught you how not to be. Because I can speak for myself in saying that someone like Dawn is a person that I'm glad I've met in my life, and I'm glad I've had the time to get to know as a person, and I'm glad I've got to see grow up as a woman and a person especially. We went through spurts of time where we didn't really talk much because, life got in the way. We went through years where we didn't see each other at all in a physical sense. I saw her sister more than I did see her as a kid because her sister Leslie dated a kid that I went to high school with. So I got to see her quite a bit growing up. We didn't really talk much because me and this kid weren't really friends. We were acquaintances at best. Never enemies, and still to this day not enemies. But I wouldn't say we're buddy or have beers together. But anyway, Dawn is somebody that I respect a great deal. And anyway, if you have somebody in your life that has touched you like Dawn has touched mine, let them know that today. Because tomorrow that opportunity may not present itself. And you may not get that opportunity to see it present itself ever again. So be grateful for people around you who have ever made a positive influence on your life and made you in some way shape your life in a positive, energy. Thank you. And that's all I can say tonight because I'm running out of time here and I gotta watch this wrestling show because I paid money to see it. I pay it by the month. I get the WWE Network. Anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to call me during the broadcast, as in the wrestling, not the broadcast on the World According to Chris, because we're about to end here. The number is 7460287. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. All right? Have a good night, everybody. Be blessed. Thank you. All right? That's all for the night. That's all for tonight. Thank you, and have a great one.
How did I miss that?
I will see you all this week sometime. I will be back on the air. I'll let you know the day if I have a good idea when I'll be home during the week. All right? Take care, all. Stay strong, Don. Good night.